The power of a presence. We don't need to be perfect, or problem-free to be present for the moment. We lose ourselves continually in ongoing thought loops that sweat us out of the present moment. During our average day, most of us speak around 16,000 words, but our thoughts, our internal, tireless, chatterbox minds produce tens of thousands and more, 95% of which are reruns. No wonder it's so hard to get out of basic stillness. It's buried under tens of thousands of our thoughts. One of the most difficult times to be present is when things are not going well, and although that's exactly when we need the presence the most, it's also when it's least available to us. If you're like me, you may tend to catastrophize, which can truly exacerbate the situation. All of this in the span of less than 3 seconds, although it seemed like 15 minutes, and then most surprisingly, the crick had left my ear canal on its own. Okay, I felt hugely relieved and pretty foolish for having made such an elevated tale about dreaded future that was never to be. We easily enter the land of catastrophic thinking, where the worst case is only case, facing thoughts and the feelings far more elaborate and negative than whatever the initial experience was. I'm sure you can bring to mind your own examples. No matter our life experiences, our choice of occupation, or our family situation, we tend to review our lives with woulda, coulda, shoulda, in such a way perfect past, or at least an improved one. Our minds have a mind of their own and are eager to get onto the next thing, something better, or to take us back to something that happened in the past. Before you know it, we've lost ourselves in stories, thoughts, or feelings about the future or past. I imagine that you're familiar, as I am, with these thoughts loop, what I like to call thought safaris. We frequently miss completely what's happening right now and the generally alternate content with the here and now anyway. We make a plans for the futures that rarely unfold, either looking ahead of what you imagine will finally bring us the happiness we seek and deserve, or fearing dangers and disasters that may very well never occur. As Mark Twain said, I've known a great many troubles, but most of us it never happened. We can all agree that our non-stop doesn't keep us out of the present moment. So, how do you spend more time in the present? That's what we did be discussing in the first part of this book, starting with the defining presence. What is the presence? The opposite of presence is absence. The perplexing thing about present is that I can be sitting across from you at the meeting, physically singing present, but actually be present if my mind is someplace else. This is not a new feature of my human condition, although the prevalence of digital devices has increased the potential that our minds and the body is not in the same place at the same time. I'll be using the terms presence, mindfulness, and mindful awareness synonymously and interchangeably in this book. Mindfulness is awareness cultivated by paying attention in a sustained and particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. When you are mindful, you have emotional balance with fewer extreme highs and lows and a sense of spaciousness and inquisitiveness toward whatever arises. You can catch yourself when your mind's caught in the downward spiral of negative thinking, or when other mental obstacles tree you up. Okay. Presence is a state of receptive awareness. Okay. That enables us to pay attention to what is happening right now. Pay attention to what is happening right now. Okay. It's more than awareness. It's a receptive awareness, or being open to whatever is happening without getting carried away with our own opinion. That's right. With our own opinions or judgments about it, welcoming both good news and the bad news with curiosity and kindness toward ourselves and others. Please notice that I didn't say without judgment because our minds are judging all the time. That's what they do. The point is that we aren't trying to get rid of judgments, we're just trying to keep in mind that judgments, like thoughts, memories, and emotions, are simply mental activities that come and go. Without the mindfulness, we very quickly, often without even being aware of it, put our opinions or preconceived notions from front and center, as we have spent our lives uh, assessing, categorizing, and judging situations, events, and the people around us, as well as ourselves. Even with the presence, we may still sometimes say the wrong thing at the wrong time, feel annoyed when our neighbors' noises wake up early in the morning, and experience bad things in our lives. So, what will be different? Our relationship to our feelings and experiences, whether happy, sad, or in between, will shift. More time spent being present means that more often we can bring forth our most flexible and resilient selves. We will be less thrown off when life's events emerge. My 90-year-old mother-in-law, Sue Sizzle, described the different presence has made in her life this way. What used to annoy me now amuses me. A wandering mind is an unhappy mind. A wandering mind. Yeah, wandering mind is unhappy mind. Yes, of course. About 50% of the time is spent thinking about something other than what we are doing. This means we spend only about half of our time in the present. On top of that, 80% of the time we are thinking about something that is actually more stressful than what we are currently doing, meaning we are also self the stress we are seeking to avoid. The researchers can also collected data on happiness using a track your happiness app to prompt thousands of people to respond to questions about what activity they were engaged in, what they were thinking about, and how happy they were. They found a 47% mind-wandering rate, even when respondents were having sex, engaging in a conversation, or exercising. When we are aware of what we are doing, we are the happiest, regardless of what we are actually doing. In other words, even when we are doing something we find unpleasant or boring, such as paying our bills, we feel calmer when present of the activity rather than when thinking about something else. Our mental and our physical well-being is enhanced when we are present for what is happening as it happens, whether it be boring or exciting. pleasant or unpleasant? Or are we unhappy? We're unintentionally mind wandering because when we are the present, we can easily get stuck in ruminating, reliving, and regretting the past, or fasting forwarding, catastrophizing, and worrying about the future. This unintentional negative mind wandering causes us to feel distracted and unhappy. Sound familiar? Also, in high stress situations, we are more prone to unintentional mind wandering. You may be thinking, I actually enjoy daydreaming, reminiscing, and just letting my mind wander. It's relaxing for me. I'm not suggesting that you give up intentional mind wandering or daydreaming because when it's intentional, it actually supports creativity, positivity emotions, insight, and relaxation, and it helps us in a better plan for the future. Let's just say you're a songwriter working on a new song and you got out of the work around the clock and intentionally let your mind wander in order to enhance your creativity. Or perhaps you just have a challenging conversation with a family member or a work colleague and you go for it alone, setting the intention of letting your mind wander and being open in whatever feelings or thoughts may come up. Allowing ourselves in this space can bring insight. As you can see, intentional mind and wandering is a benefit. Less living in the past or future. Being in the present is about being here, not getting there. I'm wondering if you're present with me on this page right now, or have your thoughts whisk you off to your dinner plans, or the movie you saw last time. Cause it is a process by which we look at our past, present, and the prospective future mental time travel. It's one of our brain's unique characteristics, and is thought to be one of the features of distinguishes us from other mammals. It's pretty amazing that we can travel to different times and places in our minds, actually feeling that we are in the past or present. Mental time travel serves us well only when it's used to plan for the future and learn from the past. It's beneficial to have thoughts about our past and the future as a part of our present experiences. With the presence, we can have thoughts about the past or present, but we experience them with intention as part of our present experience. When helpful, these reflections can enhance our lives rather than distract from them. However, ruminating about the past can mean re-experiencing the pain of past losses, while worrying about the future can mean dreading things that very well may never occur. Another downside of not being present is missing out on what's going on around us. Let's use informal fear of missing out in our favor here. Reframe it to motivate us and to avoid a mood missing out on now. Furthermore, when we are not present, we are most likely heading into a downward spiral full of negativity. As a psychologist, Rick Hansen points out in Buddha's brain, we all have a negativity bias. That is, even when our equal intensity, thoughts or emotions of more negative natures have a greater effect on the psychological state and process than do natural or positive things. Simply stated, positive things have less impact on our behavior than things that are equally emotional but negative. The reason for this negativity biases is that it helps us to survive. If we err on the side of the overstimulating, the negative, so we'll miss potentially life-threatening aspect of what's going on, endlessly re-experiencing the pain of past failures and the future worries is both exhausting and stressful, even though it is rooted in our survival history as a species. Unfortunately, the more we dwell on the negative, the more our brains become accustomed to dwelling on the negative and continue to do so. Now is a good time to try it out for yourself. The next time you become aware that your thoughts aren't focused on the past or present, take a moment to look at them. Are they negative, reparative, and about you? Each of us has one or two habitual thought loops that we find ourselves returning to when you aren't present. The first step is becoming aware, pausing for the present moment to recall now. Adding just a few more moments of being present today can make a difference in bringing your most resilient self forward more often. We all share a deep, ingrained habit of aversion, avoiding, escaping, and trying to get rid of things that we experience as unpleasant or uncomfortable, which not only keeps us out of the present moment, but lights turn off. So I need. I just wanna read more. Now is a good time. Try it out for yourself. The next time you become aware that your thoughts aren't focused on the past or present, take a moment to look at them. Are they negative, reparative, and about you? Each of us has one or two habitual thought loops that we find ourselves returning to when we aren't present. The first step is becoming aware, pausing for this present moment we call now. Adding just a few more moments of being present today can make a difference in bringing your most resilient self forward more often. We all share a deeply ingrained